Okay, I'm back with the tarot again. I want to continue this tarot series. It was a good series. Now, before I say that, on my other channel, Open Source Occult TV, there is a video that that could be up in a few hours of my trip to Owen Negat Cave, the Hellmouth of Ireland today, and some stuff about the inner earth. I actually believe that place is one of the entrances. I actually do believe in not the hollow earth theory, but the idea of an inner earth. I think is much more plausible than the idea of a central sun and this kind of thing. But anyway, another person asked me, what's a good book on the tarot? A good book on the tarot is Alfred Douglas's book on the tarot. It came out in the early 70s, and I have my original copy from when I was 17. I bought it back in the 80s, and it's still available in an update, and you can get it on all the major retailers online and in your bookshop. It's an excellent book on the tarot. It talks about and not only just the basic tarot, but that's where I first learned about things like, well, I learned things like Jungian psychology. I didn't know about that till I read that book, really, what that was. And things like the interest in the Kabbalah, a very interesting history of the tarot, and then the idea of the tarot played as board games, which is Tarotti, and which is an Italian board game, which is great stuff. Now, the card I want to talk to today, that's Alfred Douglas's tarot book from the early 70s. It was a Penguin book originally. I don't know what it's called, The Tarot and Its Uses, something like that. Now, today's card is the Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords on the Rider-Waite deck is often shown as a woman with two children and a man in a boat. The woman is kind of like looking forlorn, and she is holding the kids while the man is sailing away on a sea that's turbulent on one side and calm on the other. This is the pagan otherworld, or the heathen otherworld, I think it's called. Tarot, very beautiful tarot, but it's pretty kind of expensive. And what this card is about is regretful moving on. You say you were in a business that you put your heart and soul and money into it, and it's got to the point where you cannot sustain it anymore. It's about that. It's like, oh shit, that's that. If you are dealing with people who you were nice to and all this kind of thing, and they turned out to be assholes, that you were never anything but kind and decent to them, and they turned out to do terrible things on you, you get rid of them out of your life, and you go, well, that's pretty bad. I feel bad about that. It wasn't my fault. They should have behaved themselves. The same thing. A good example I'll give you is, say, a woman who's in a relationship with a man, and for whatever reason the man is not fully attainable. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to get involved in a full-time relationship or anything like that, but she's having an amazing time with him. Anytime she is with him, it's incredible. It's amazing. It's life-affirming. It's magic. But she wants a full-time life. She wants a world that's respectable. So she meets another guy and leaves that guy and enters into the suburban life. Now, she's regretful that she has to leave the guy, but she also understands if she's to move as a person, she has to go settle with this other guy, and which is fair enough. But that also is a double-edged sword, and remember, swords are double-sided blades. Cut the fence, and the sword is not as the swords are deep. They're stabbing deep consequences of the sword, sweet. And she may marry this guy or end up with him, looking after his kids from his ex-wife, and realizes she hates it. She doesn't like the ex-kids. She hates the suburban world, and that was the sword. It was a lesson that everyone kind of has to learn, and that kind of thing. The sword is about having to move on, emigration. It's not working out for me in this town or this country anymore. I've got to move on. I wish I didn't have to go. I miss my family and friends, but that's life. This relationship sucks. It doesn't work anymore. Well, it doesn't suck, but it's not what I want anymore. It's run its course. I have to give it up. The Six of Swords is all about regretful letting go, painful departures that are like a birthing, being reborn. This is why you shouldn't really judge people who want to get on with their lives. We've all done it, but I mean, you shouldn't really, they're often in pain too. They're often suffering too. And so, even though they may have gone on and say, oh, well, he left the fucking band and left the rest of us. He may miss the band, but he's done something other. He has better opportunities, or he's different opportunities. He's left this, he's left that, she's left this, she's left that. That doesn't mean they're going, fuck you, and walking off like you don't exist. They will be deep inside going, that was painful, that was a painful separation. So it's a kind of a rebirth, but it's full of forlorn melancholy, fears, crisis, pain, and it's not a trip into certain happiness. And that's the important thing about this card. Someone gets this card and says, oh, well, that's it, I have to break up with this person, or I have to move on from this situation, or leave this job and go on, but it's for something better. But that's what this card is really about. This is why I don't do negative and positive readings, because both cards have negative and positive attributes. Now, what this could be is, it's time to move on, but there's no guarantee you're going to find any more happiness than what you left behind. In fact, in some cases, because it's a sword and a blade has two edges, it could be even worse, and you left the good thing with the bad thing. And that's just how it is, and that's life. Thank you.